Here's my next restoration, Corgi XJ-S. Not in bad condition, may have been repainted at some time before. Okay, here we have Ian Ogilvy's, or soon to be Ian Ogilvy's Saint car, Jaguar XJ-S V12. Lovely looking car. Waft along, these do, with a V12 in them. Doors open. This is a Corgi Jaguar XJ-S. 2 rivets. Normally I wouldn't restore a car as good as this. However, I have got 2 more and I want to do the Saint series. So this one has to come apart. 2 rivets are a bit pointy on the XJ-S, and fortunately they're a bit soft. So rather than hit it with a hammer on the punch, just allowing a bit of pressure. And there is slightly a marker hole there. Right, let's set to work trying to get that base off. Quite good, that front one. There's always one that's going to be trouble, so it should be this one. I'm wondering if that is actually enough. I don't think it will. Whoa! And it all comes apart quickly. There's the base with our wheels. Now, you didn't see it, but out of the shot, the headlight surround fell out, and front valance, front mudguard, grille. Got the rear one here, quite tidy. The rear light unit, very distinctive on the Jaguar. The body, quite a bit of scope for some detail in there. I can always see a historically inaccurate thing. I think this is an auto. In Ogilvy's car was something like the 138th manual one. Right, there we can see the steering wheel. So let's just open the doors. We're not going to get that out without doing that, I don't think. There we go. Quite nice. And I think the glass just popped. Now obviously the glass is in excellent condition, there'll be nothing to do with that. And the body's obviously pretty good, because this isn't a restoration, this is a customization. Slight difference. So there we have our Jaguar with its parts. These will need painting, that will need painting, the interior will need painting. They actually had 3 Jaguars to film the series, but they both had, all 3 of them rather, had different interiors, and apparently in one of the shows you could see the total lack of continuity into which car they actually used. So this is going to need some work. I'm going to put all of that into the ultrasonic, along with some bits from another project, because hopefully this is a 2-part project. That's the Volvo P1800S. That's going in with as well. We're just about to paint strip our little Jaguar XJ-S. I've not got an extractor fan in the garage, and this stuff really gets to the back of your throat, so I always do it outside. It's absolutely tipping it down today, so it's just on the edge of the garage floor there. Okay, I've been having a think about the Jaguar, and I wasn't going to take the wheels off, but I think I'm going to have to really, because if we look at a similar Jaguar here, for me to do the same, this needs to be colour coded, so this needs to be painted anyway. The same at the rear. So although I wanted to keep this for originality and its perfect condition, I'm going to have to take these wheels out, spray this white, spray some of that white, and spray the rest over all black, and maybe do some detailing, because that is one of the most detailed chassis I have ever seen. So I think I'm just going to try and ground the clips on one side that hold in the wheels of the Jaguar in. Right, I'm just going to try and lever that out now with this bradawl. It's taken a fair bit of effort. There we go. Fortunately, I've not bent that, and that is out. And that, when it goes back in, will be a very, very firm fit indeed. For experimenting sake, I'm going to try and cut this one out with a cutting disc and see how that goes, because the grinding took absolutely ages. Right, let's see if this goes any better. Incidentally, that's all fused together with the heat at the moment, so I've had to put a new front on. Well, there's more damage to the axle that way, but it doesn't matter because it won't be seen and it's not damaged it too much. It is quicker with the cutter. Can't get better than a quick cutter. So it's straight into the caustic soda for that. Okay, we're at the polishing of the XJ-S and I've got a full face mask on for this. And I'm doing it in a box because the stuff goes everywhere. Okay, I've been looking at Simon Templar's Jaguar, and inside it was actually a light tan brown. So the other thing I've got to do is take the steering wheel off the centre console, the dashboard rather, take the steering wheel off the dashboard. So if you just get your screwdriver behind that and push with your finger behind it, not against that, it does pop out. And that really reveals a lovely lot of detailing to be done. Now I've been in a Jaguar just a couple of times, not enough to remember everything, but I think the whole of this, with the exception of the centre dash there and maybe the grills, will be like the same colour. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have to hand paint it because I couldn't find a spray can at a reasonable price. That means £3 or £4, not like £8–10 and upwards. So I'm going to try and hand paint this. Let's see how we get on. There is a lot of detailing in the cockpit for later as well, which I'll be able to catch up with. Just see how it goes on. So it's thin coats, spread it about, try and do it all in one go. Remember when I hand painted the dinghy a while ago? It took about 4 goes, hand painted, 4 coats before I was happy. Didn't bother priming this, didn't want to get down that route. Now if you search the Saints car, it's still on the road, and there is an article about the guys who restored the interior, the leather, back to its original condition. Well worth a read. I think it's nice that somebody has the time and effort to search out specialist restorers and keep these classic cars on the road and spend all their money probably doing it. Nice handbrake down there, look. Now if you look at pictures of Simon Templar, you might come back to me and say, well, the car I saw him in was black interior, and that's because they had 3 cars and they weren't all identical inside, just outside. And I bet they weren't even identical outside, because the primary car had a BMW sunroof fitted to it. Because I thought it might be a bit dark to get pictures, I think, something. So there we go. Another fact. Well, this does look the right colour to my eyes that I've seen on the internet, so I'm quite pleased with it. This dash will probably be black down here, around here. The other thing that's wrong with this car is it's auto. The Saints car was one of the manual ones, using the old E-Type Jaguar gearboxes that were left over after E-Type production stopped. Don't want to miss any bits because it just delays the whole process even longer. Right. Now for the dashboard itself. Okay, the XJ-S is out of paint, as you can see, and the white has gone on absolutely lovely. The interior's had its base coat of tan leather, as near as I could get to the Saints car. There were 3 Saints cars, so it's a bit difficult. I did do the wheel and the dashboard in tan. Now I found out that the dashboard in a lot of these early ones was actually black with some walnut in, so I could leave the glove box in walnut, etc. From there forwards should be black. The wheel can go back to black. The pillars here were black, that line along there and that door pillar. Now in this model of the XJ-S we don't have the front quarter light, just have an open bit, so we can't do any more than that. So we can only do that and the rear Jaguar sign that you can see there. So we're going to get a very fine brush out and get on with some detailing. Right, so here goes. Just see if we can zoom that in a bit. That is part of detailing, is trying to film it. If you could put it in the position you want it every time, you'd be fine. Let's have a look at my picture. On my pad is a picture of the XJ-S's interior from that era. Not the exact same one. You can see what I'm aiming for there. Right, I'll stop that there and get it a bit closer so I can see it for the fine outline. Okay, we've done the interior middle dash area. Just got to see what the handbrake looks like. I haven't seen that yet. I'm suspecting that's black with a silver handle or just black, so I've got to check that out. And I'm going to just move on to the dash. What I'm going to do here is leave this panel clear like it was walnut or something. So there's not a lot of detailing as such on the dash. I'm just going to paint it black. Should have perhaps checked the interiors first, but it's nice to get a base coat down. Now the dash is quite detailed, as you can see. So what I don't want to lose is the detail on that dash, because I'll go back and do the clocks with a bit of silver or something on them, just to highlight them. You can see that I'm just trying to keep that glove box, that part of the dashboard, as tan as an imitation wood. I don't know if it was imitation back in the 70s for this car, whether we're still using real walnut. Right, there we are. There's the dash done. Okay, I've got a picture of the original Saints car on my pad, and I'm just about to do this rear buttress like that. The rest isn't available to do on the model because we have the opening doors and we don't have the quarter light. So check my hands are clean. Close the doors. I like to try and hold the model underneath. You get less fingerprints that way. Just try and, if you can see, there is a line there. There is a line to follow. So let's hope I can achieve that. Right, here we go. It's a delicate job. I'm not going to film all of it because the filming makes it twice as hard. A bit too much paint there. It's going to need a couple of coats from the looks of it. Of course, you can't always adhere to the exact cut. Like here, I'm going to have to improvise here. I've run out of casting marks. So I'm just going to go with the flow of that curve in the door there and come back the other way. Well, here you are. You can see our Jaguar's coming along really nicely now. The base is very good, but there's a lot of detail on it that's not being exploited by the manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is just pick out the exhaust with this metallic brush pen. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, I think so. Just move the main body out of the way because I just wanted to show you that. I'll just put that in a safe place. I think you get the gist of that. I'm not sure how this pen's going to work. I may end up actually painting it with a brush and some enamel. Certainly this looks like it'll need to go over twice. So just leave that first bit with you, that first back exhaust, and I'll get back to you when it's nearly finished. What I'm also doing, apart from the exhaust, is just going over with a Sharpie marker black where the sort of inside of the chassis is, because I think when the wheels are on that'll show through, and I don't want them to show through with a white background, so I'm just going over and making sure it's going to be black that's seen. I've already done the other sides. Got this side to do. Not sure if it'll be seen or not, but it only takes a few minutes. And I've started on the exhaust. Done two back boxes. Touched up a little bits where there was some white around. So she's looking quite nice. Okay, as you can see, things are getting quite close on our little XJ-S. So this is the rear. You can just see a little XJ-S marker there. I don't know if you can pick it out. There we are, you can see it now. I'm off to try and pick that out with some chrome later. But first, I'm going to put on our number plate. Of course, this was a car that Ian Ogilvy drove as the second Saint, and that series was filmed in the UK and abroad. I think it was the second series abroad to try and give it a bit more appeal, a bit more exotic locations. This is trying to make this an accurate replica of one of those three cars. There was a primary car and two other cars, as I've said. Right, here we go. It's a bit awkward to get it to show for you to see, but there we go. Hope you can see some of this. Right, let's see, ST1. Let's get a cotton bud on that. looks okay to me. Just getting a bit close to it. Might try and move it along a slight touch. There is a little bit of white there. I'm just going to take that out. There, I hope you saw that. Bit of a cutting error. Right. That looks quite good. It's the right way up. Pleased with that. Okay, it's onto the front number plate. She's not gone on bad first time. She's just a millimetre too big. What I'll do is I'll wait for that number plate to firmly set, then I can trim that bottom bit off. Looking good. Just often you see front and rears together, but there they are. Simon Templar 1. Okay, we've got a bit of chrome on there, and I am just going to attempt to pick out the XJ-S on this rear. I know my hand will be in the way for some of this. I'll try not to. It's a delicate job. Well, that's not bad. I'll take that. And on the front grille, there is this little bit as well. There we go. We are at final assembly of our XJ-S. Now, I've had one practice at this, so make sure my hands are spotless. Got some gloves on. The first thing is the steering wheel onto the dash. It's popped in there nicely. You can see the detail on the dash. Middle of the steering wheel, trying to recreate that bit of red with a silver outline. Tried to recreate the mahogany of the dash. Did my best there. And the interior, close as I could get to the original colour interior. The glass didn't need a lot of work on it. That is in first. It's popped in nicely. Then we have the interior. Just goes under there like that. So that's the dashing. Then we have the inside. Now part of that, you can see I've blacked out the inner wing, so that actually goes over like that. Let's take a look. All looks good to me. I didn't show it to you because I'd tip the whole lot upside down. There's a risk of moving it. Right, so that's done. Now we've got the front with its ST1 and its indicators highlighted and a little badge there, if you can just see that. So that needs to go on there. Did we have, I should have put lights on before then, so I'll put lights on first. There are the lights in place. You've got the same view as I have. It'd be nice to have the front view, but then the rear. Then we have the rear lights. Slight bit of damage on the locator there, but it's not going to cause a problem, I don't think. There we go. Not sure if I'm missing a bit there, we'll find out in a minute. It doesn't look like it. Then we've got ST1 with a GB sticker now. And that goes on there. So here we go with the Super Duper. Just over those axles where I seem to remember I did grind a bit off. Put as much as I want there. It's out of sight, it ain't gonna matter. And we'll just leave that for a few minutes. Okay, a few minutes have passed. We're back with our Jaguar base. I've just put a piece of card over belt and braces to keep them level. So now we can put that top, that body, onto the chassis without the wheels dropping out. Just trying to line up these holes at the back. The front looks good. The back doesn't look so good for some reason. You may have noticed continuity department's not done its job. I've got different coloured gloves on, just in case I've got any super glue on those others. Wasn't going to risk that. Right, slight reveal. How's she looking? Okay. Front looks okay. ST1. Rear looks okay. Put that little GB decal on. Spotted that in one of the photos I've seen. Right, we are ready to pop the rivets in. Right, one of these is longer than the other. Better to add a little glue at a time than over glue. So this is the rear going in. and that slid in perfectly. So I'll try and show you the front one a bit clearer. There's contamination. I picked up the cocktail stick with the wrong side, so that's off. That glove's off. We now know the right side to pick the cocktail stick up with. It's good to use a cocktail stick here because this hole is a long way down, this rivet hole. I'm not sure if you can see it there. It's quite a long way down into there. What to do is try and put a bit round the edge to grab that rivet. That is going straight in the bin. Happy with that. And there is our final rivet, our second rivet cut down. A little help this time to keep it vertical. Hee, fun and games. What's the saying? There's always one. It's in. It's in. Just a bit of wiggling there. Probably didn't see that, but it's in. And just while you've got that opportunity, you can see I just did the exhaust underneath. I didn't go overboard, and I did the tips of the exhaust in chrome. So we'll just give that a few minutes before we get the turntable out. Thank you for watching so far. Well, this is what we started with. A not too bad Jaguar XJ-S in grey. I had two of these, hence I've chosen to repaint one of them. There she is, a near replica as I can get of the Saints Jaguar XJ-S V12. In the end I decided to keep the sticker on the bonnet, the decal, when I put it on. Lots of hard work gone into this one, lots of research trying to just get it right. In some ways though, you are always restricted by what Corgi have given you in this case. I do hope you like this one, because I can tell you I'm chuffed to bits with it. It looks great. What I'll do now is I'll just stop that turntable and I'll open those doors. Okay, the doors are open now. You can see some of the detailing, the handles on the doors. Inside, quite a lot of work went into that cockpit. Dashboard, gear sticks, black handle, chrome tip, some details on the dashboard there, radio, some of the dials, door handles. The original Saint car did have a tan interior. I've tried to get that right, that's hand painted. I've tried to get slightly darker colour on the door insets to reflect what I think was the veneer or mahogany wood effect, the same on the dashboard. I do hope you've liked this one. I've enjoyed doing it. It's one of my favourite cars. I've driven one round an industrial estate. I've been in the back of one. I can tell you that's cramped. And I'm just pleased. I'm just pleased with it. So I hope you are too. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Well, there is our Jaguar XJ-S taking centre stage in the cabinet, dwarfing those little Lesney toys next to it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching the Jaguar XJ-S.